After a tumultuous few months, staff at the General Post Office were off the job again today, but this time not due to industrial unrest. Cleopatra Murphy has a story on what led to those employees abandoning their posts.
Staff at the General Post Office got a scare shortly before 10 Tuesday morning after a fire alarm went off, causing nearly 100 workers to evacuate the East Hill Street building. Staff waited outside the post office as fire crews inspected the facility, ultimately giving the all clear. Corporal Ryan McPhee with Fire Services says the culprit, a faulty smoke detector.
There was no smoke, there was no fire. It was just a smoke detector that actually activated, but sometimes you have nuisance alarms that goes off based on dust. And if you can look at the area here, that you will see that it's a lot of dust, and dust may have collected in the smoke detector, causing it to actually go off into alarm.
While it may have been a false alarm, Corporal Pamela Sands stressed the importance of evacuating quickly when an alarm goes off, particularly in an environment like the post office, littered with flammable materials.
Don't just take it lightly. For the mere fact, the day that they decide, okay, that's just a normal alarm going off, and they stay in the building, that may be the very day that there is a fire. And then they have a lot of combustible materials inside here that will fuel a fire in seconds. So it's very dangerous.
Acting Postmaster Jennifer Johnson says immediately after the alarm sounded off, staff moved to evacuate despite several false alarms in the past.
We have about a little over 100 persons, about 120 perhaps, that are here in the building. Once they would have heard the alarm off, everybody proceeded to the outside. So that took maybe 5 minutes tops.
While inspecting the building, Sands says they discovered another issue, expired fire extinguishers, that she urged officials to address immediately.
They just need to check them, because so you have to do periodic checks of your fire extinguishers, because the very point that every 6 months, because the very day that you need it, you could find out that there is a fault in it. So it's very important to make current checks of your fire extinguishers.
The fire officials say homeowners and some business owners take fire safety for granted, but warns it should not be taken lightly. After being pulled away from work due to what was a false alarm, postal staff eventually resumed work. Cleopatra Murphy, ZNS Network News.